Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jun. Today I'm making vegan chicken teriyaki with homemade seitan. It has the skin, it has the meat, it shreds just like chicken, and it has the meaty texture. It's mind-blowing. Yes, the seasoning aside, all the texture and the body of the vegan chicken is entirely made from just plain flour. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to make seitan from scratch at home. Now, what the heck is seitan? So apparently, seitan fake chicken videos are taking over TikTok right now. And yes, they all look crazy good. But it's actually nothing new. It's an ancient meat replacement. It has been eaten since the 6th century, mostly by Buddhists in East and Southeast Asia. What it is wheat gluten, which is the protein in wheat. And yes, there's a tiny bit of protein in flour. So seitan is made by taking the protein out of wheat and kind of squeezing it. So there are two main ways to do it. Well, I think these are the only ways to do it. So you can either, one, this is the easy way, just get Vital wheat gluten from the store. It's 80% gluten, meaning the protein is already taken out of flour for you. So it's a bit easier and faster, but you'll still have to knead it well and boil it and all that. Now the second way, which is what I'm gonna show you today, is called the washed flour method. All you need is flour, water, a large bowl, and your hand or hands. And you need a clean surface to work on. These are everything you need. And I'm going to separate the protein and starch in the flour. Now, how the heck is that possible? Well, you'll see in a minute. Let's do it, shall we? Now, I'm using strong flour. All-purpose flour will work, no problem. But strong flour is used for things like bread and pizza dough. And because it's more dense and contains more gluten by volume, it's gonna be easier and quicker. Into the bowl, add 5 cups of the flour. And add just enough water. And I'm going to be mixing the flour and water. If it's too dry, then add more water slowly. And if it's too wet, then add more of the flour. Once it's come together a little, I'm going to move it onto a clean surface. I'm using my cutting board, and I'm going to knead it and form a dough ball. As you can see, it's pretty wet, and it sticks to my fingers, so I'm adding more flour. Here we have a solid dough ball. Now I'm going to clean the bowl. There should be no flour left in it. Come back with adequate fresh water in the clean bowl. Grab the dough ball and just dump it into the water. Make sure the entire thing is under the water. And I'm going to let it rest in the water for an hour. If you're in a rush, make sure to rest it for at least half an hour. If you're making more seitan, then you can repeat the same process in another batch in the meantime. Now it's been an hour. If the water is super cloudy, then drain it and refill the bowl with fresh water. But mine looks alright, so I'm going to grab the dough ball and start kneading it under the water. Why? This way, I'm washing the starch in the flour away, leaving only the gluten. This is how the separation of the protein and starch is done. You can immediately see the water getting cloudy. It almost looks like milk. That's the starch in the flour coming out. Drain and refill the bowl with fresh water and repeat the same process. The dough gets pretty soft and it does feel weird and it makes you feel unsure of what you're doing, but just keep on believing and keep kneading it. This time the water should be slightly less cloudy. That means there's less starch in the dough. As the water gets super cloudy, drain again and repeat. And as you keep kneading it, you'll start to notice the change in its texture. It becomes sort of stringy, and you'll be able to visually see this sort of muscle-looking stuff. All you have to do is keep washing the flour in fresh water until the water gets much less cloudy. Not perfectly clear though. It's nearly impossible to get all the starch out anyways, and 100% protein is not what we're looking for. We still do want some starch in it. Yes, it requires lots of water. I wish it didn't, but come on. You're not watering chickens 24/7 anymore, so that's good. Now this is getting a lot closer to what we want. It's actually almost done. Let's do 2 more washes. Now I'm finishing the last wash. The dough should have reduced by a lot, so you can do it with less water quite aggressively for the final wash. You can now see that the water is almost clear. Now the seitan dough is done. Look at this. This is the wheat gluten, the protein. It looks kind of scary. I'm going to get it out of the water and let it rest for about 20 minutes to remove the excess moisture. This is also the time to rest your wrist. Now this seitan, I made yesterday the exact same way I just showed you. I let it sit in the fridge overnight because the texture gets even better the next day. This is optional, you don't have to do this. Most people just cook the seitan right away. Now as you might have guessed, this is basically just flour, so it's bland. So we need to season it and cook it for it to become our vegan chicken. So here I've got some spices. Now flatten and spread the seitan dough. I'm going to mix it with some smoked paprika, white and black pepper, salt. Garlic powder. Yes, the classic fried chicken seasoning. I mean, if you think about it, fried chicken tastes like fried chicken only because of the spices. Isn't this pretty artsy? Thoroughly needed to have all the seasoning spread out evenly. Wait, hold on. What? Is this chicken breast? What? Can we just take a moment to appreciate this plant chicken breast? Look how fat it is. Now this is the important part. Then I'm going to stretch it and make a knot. Yes, sadly I'm destroying the beautiful breast. Now it looks like knotted rolls, but this is the key to make it shred like chicken after being cooked. Now get a pan. Add a good healthy amount of olive oil. By that I mean a lot. And heat it up. Now the pan is hot. Pan fry the seitan over medium heat. This is where we really want to color it and bring out the flavors of the spices. Flip it over and cook until both sides are golden brown and crispy. This is smelling incredible. I'm literally smelling fried chicken. Are you seeing this? This is plant muscle, guys. I am completely blown. In case you've forgotten, it's all plain flour. Then add enough vegetable broth or vegan plant-based chicken stock to cover the seitan. Now, this is very important. If you can, use unsalted stock or it's going to be very salty and that's not good. If you don't have any, then just don't add salt in the seitan itself. Cover the pan with the lid and let it simmer for about 40 minutes to an hour. In the meantime, you can make your teriyaki sauce. I actually made mine the other day. It's so simple. To a saucepan or pot, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Add a touch of very finely minced ginger. Mince 1 medium clove of garlic. Stir them around and cook them over low heat until they're colored and fragrant. Then add 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Melt and caramelize it slightly. Then add half a cup of soy sauce. Followed by the same amount of mirin and 3 tablespoons of cooking sake. Then just keep stirring the sauce over medium-low heat until it thickens up. Finally, add a touch of sesame oil. This is gonna add that toasty tone to it. And lots of toasted sesame seeds. There we have the perfect thick and rich homemade teriyaki sauce. Now the seitan has cooked for 40 minutes. Take the lid off and let the excess stock evaporate. Then add the homemade teriyaki sauce to the pan and stir thoroughly. There we have the vegan plant-based teriyaki chicken. Let's see how it's done. Look at this. This is incredibly meaty. It really has that cooked chicken texture. It has the skin, it has the meat. It shreds just like chicken, and it's perfectly seasoned with the spices and stock, so it tastes like chicken. No cholesterol, no antibiotics, almost no fat, but plant protein. This is a perfect chicken replacement. So guys, that was it. It's pretty time consuming, but it's so simple, easy, and cheap to make, and it's super delicious. My family absolutely loved it. You can make a lot of it at once to enjoy for the week. You can change the seasoning and the way you cook the seitan, so you can make plant-based burger patties, chicken nuggets, fried chicken, bacon, pepperoni, ham, you name it, pretty much anything you want. Definitely worth a try. Make sure you knead and wash it well, rest it well, and season it well. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. I'll see you in my next video.